Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day is going fabulous and you are having a fabulous week. Thank you so much for joining me. Well, today we're going to create a rainy day card. We're going to use two brand new stamp sets over at the Spellbinders shop. It's part of a collection that's called Cardmaker Stamp Collection. And there's more to the collection. I'll list it down below, but two of the items we're using today go perfect together. This is the Windy Sky. And I think this would be great for winter scenes or rainy day scenes. And then I also have the stamp set that's called Cute Boots. That's this one here. There's a cute little image of a girl with an umbrella and her raincoat wearing some boots. There are a couple umbrella images. One is open and then one's closed. So we are going to start off by doing some stamping. I'm going to grab some white cardstock and put it in my mini Misty here. And then we're going to grab some Memento Tuxedo Black ink and ink up our image. We're going to be coloring in our image today with Copic markers. And I thought we would go with a monochromatic look today. For the most part, she is just umbrella, raincoat, boots, and socks. You could barely see her hands and legs, and so I thought we'd go for a monochromatic look. Before we get to coloring, which I did leave in, by the way, I did list the colors that I used in the corner of the screen, but I do want to stamp the closed umbrella a couple times too. We're going to color that in as well. But I'm going to play some music while I color, and then when I'm done coloring, I will catch you back. Okay, coloring is all done, and I just love the way this turned out. She's all yellow, but different shades just make it super fun. Now I only colored in one of the umbrellas also. I'm going to go ahead and use my scissors and fussy cut my little images out, leaving a little bit of a white border. And we'll set these aside, and then we're going to work on our background. I'm going to bring back the Misty, and we're going to stamp our Windy Sky stamp on some watercolor cardstock. I'm using some Color Splash sheets. These are nice sheets because they're already pre-cut for you into A2 size sheets. Excuse me, I had a froggy in my throat. But I'm going to go ahead and place this over my watercolor cardstock, kind of centering it, and then we'll pick it up with the lid of the Misty. And I'm going to actually treat my paper with my anti-static powder bag. We're going to heat emboss with white embossing powder. So just to make sure that my image stays nice and clear and there's no stragglers of embossing powder. The anti-static powder tool works great. I'll ink up my image here with my Versamark ink, and we're going to stamp once. Gonna rub it in really good, and then I'm gonna do a redo. I'm not sure if I missed any spots. I couldn't see it. That's the bad thing about the VersaFine, is sometimes you can't see it. But I'm gonna do a double stamp just in case. And then I'm gonna go ahead and bring in my white embossing powder. We're gonna cover this entire panel with the white. the stamp itself doesn't quite cover the entire A2 panel. It does leave about 1/4 of an inch around it, which is kind of nice because you can grab it with your hand while you're heat embossing. I melted that embossing powder, and so this is good to go. Now I want to add some color in the background, so I'm bringing in my liquid color. I haven't used these in a while. I'll grab my craft mat, and I cut my craft mats. First I cut it in half, and now I'm down to 1/4. When it gets really bad like this, I can just replace it or use it for other projects. But I'm going to add some lovely blue liquid color and then some water, and then I'm just going to basically dip my cardstock in there. And it absorbed really well. I used the smooth side of the stamp, of the cardstock, so it just absorbed really well. I'm going to do the same thing once more just to make sure I have color in my entire background. And we're going to just pick up the excess, smushing it, and then once I'm happy, I wanted some light and dark areas to go with those swirlies. I think that's going to work out great. I'm going to bring in a towel, kind of clean up the mess underneath and on my little mat, and then I'll use my heat gun and go ahead and dry this just so we can continue on with our project. But I just love the way this turned out. I think this makes a great wintry scene too. Okay, looks fabulous. I'm going to go ahead and set this aside, and then I'm going to bring in my essential rectangle dies. Love these, and I'm just going to use one of the dies, one of the second from the smallest die, to cut out a window. Originally I was going to create a frame, but I thought, no, let's just cut out a window in our windy sky background, and then I can use that extra piece for another card if I wanted to. So I'm just going to line it up in the middle and then die cut it. And then as I die cut it, it wasn't quite straight, so this is how I like to fix it. I took the largest die in the Essentials die set, and then I'm going to die cut out my panel. Now the largest die does leave a little bit of a border, about 1/8 of an inch border on your card base, which works out perfect because it gave me a chance to straighten up my window. So once I was happy with my windy sky frame, I'm going to go ahead and directly on my card base, we're going to stamp some sideways rain. There's some lines in the stamp set. I'm using my Pool Play ink pad, and we're just going to stamp a few of these in the background. It's very soft blue, kind of coordinates with our background, and then it also allows me to stamp my sentiment right on top. Of course, we're going to pop up our frame with foam adhesive. Before we remove the release paper, we'll go ahead and stamp our sentiment. I'm just going to kind of figure out my placement. I'm going to stamp the sentiment that says rain is just confetti from the sky. Stamp that right in the middle of our window here. Lovely. Next, we'll just remove the release paper and center our frame on our card base. There's 2 more sentiments in the stamp set, which are just adorable. And then there's a little rain puddle too that goes with our little girl with the umbrella. One says, when life gives you rainy days, wear cute boots and jump in puddles. I just thought that was adorable. And then there's also another one that says, I like people who smile when it's raining. I do too. I like rain. I did decide to bring in a little extra color with my umbrella. So that extra umbrella that I did stamp, instead of just tossing it with the scratch paper, I thought we would color it in with some blues. I used B12, B14, and B8, I believe, for that second umbrella. But I'm going to go ahead and pop up my little girl, and originally I was going to put her off to the right, but ended up putting her right in the center. And then we're going to add some Journey Glaze over her boots and her raincoat, and also the umbrella, to give it the illusion of rain on it. But that is my card today, using a couple of the brand new items in the Spellbinders Cardmaker Stamp Collection. So if you guys want to check it out, everything's downstairs. Have a fabulous day. Thank you so much for joining me. We will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.